Moses said to him, "May I follow you so that you may guide me by what you have been taught?" He replied, "You will not be able to bear with me patiently." "How could you be patient in matters beyond your knowledge?" Moses said, "God willing, you will find me patient, and I will not disobey you in anything." He said, "Well then, if you would follow me, do not ask me about anything till I speak of it to you." So they set out, but when they got into a boat, the man made a hole in it. Moses exclaimed, "Have you made a hole in the boat to drown the people in it?" "You have indeed done a dreadful thing," he replied. "Did I not tell you that you would never be able to bear with me patiently?" He said, "Do not take me to task for what I have forgotten, and do not be hard on me on account of what I have done." So they traveled on. Then they met a young man, and the man killed him. Moses said, "Have you slain an innocent person without his having slain anyone?" "Indeed, you have done a terrible thing," the man said. "Did I not tell you that you would not be able to have any patience with me?" Moses replied, "If I ever ask you about anything after this, do not let me accompany you. I will have given you sufficient excuse." So they went on until they came to a town. They asked its people for food, but were refused hospitality. They found a wall in the town which was about to fall down. His companion fixed it. And Moses said, "Had you wished, you could have demanded payment for your labors." He answered, "This is where you and I must part company. But first I will tell you the meaning of the things you could not bear with patiently. The boat belonged to some poor people who made their living from the sea. I wanted to damage it because there was a king coming behind them who was seizing every boat by force. As for the youth, his parents were believers, and we feared that he would trouble them by rebellion and denial of truth. We wanted their Lord to replace him with someone purer than him and more compassionate." The wall belonged to two young orphans in the town whose father had been a righteous man, and treasures of theirs lay underneath it. So your Lord wanted them to come of age and then to dig up their treasure as mercy from him. I did not do it on my own accord. That is the explanation of the things about which you were not able to restrain yourself. They will ask you about Duhul Qurain. Say, I will give you an account on him. We will establish him in the land. So this part here in the Quran, now that is my favorite surahs from Surah Al-Kafh. Now it is super important to follow up your reading with the tafsir. So maybe you can look up a video on YouTube from a sheikh that does a tafsir of Surah Al-Kafh, because this verse or this chapter of the Quran has many stories. It talks about a few. So it talks about the men in the cave. It also talks about the parable of the two men. It talks about the trip that Moses, peace be upon him, has, where he keeps questioning this person, why are you doing this, and then my favorite part at the end, it talks about Gog and Magog. And then another thing, it talks about like the day of judgment towards the end. And it also, a very important reminder here, it says, "It is revealed to me that your God is one God. So let him who hopes to meet his Lord do good deeds, and let him associate no one else in the worship of his Lord." So it's very important to follow up the reading with some tafsir, hadith, and stuff like that. So I just read Surah Al-Kafh. I know it's Thursday night. It is now 10 o'clock. So I spent like 45 minutes reading, alhamdulillah. And tomorrow, inshallah, what I'm going to be doing is, instead of Like I said, I was going to finish Surah Al-Kafh. I'm going to actually be watching some videos and some tafsir and writing down a bunch of notes. So yeah, assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings. And to all my beautiful sisters, until next time, don't forget to read Surah Al-Kafh, the cave. Alhamdulillah.